And now we're heading back to the hotel. Thank goodness, because we're a little bit tired. And Mom's sneezing. Finally, we're back at our room. So we spent several hours out today just eating and walking and having a nice time. So we're back. We're going to rest for a little while. And then we are going to the 7 o'clock show of Cirque du Soleil Love, which is the Beatles show that's here at the Mirage. And I'm very excited to see that. But there are 2 updates that I don't think I've shared so far that I wanted to share. So number 1, 3 little things I like to mention. So number 1, I came on this trip with a cold and I think it's finally starting to get better. So that's good news. Number 2, our dinner last night at Yardbird was fan-freaking-tastic. We loved it. We shared the short rib. It was so good. It was so good. We ate the entire thing and it came on mashed potatoes and some veggies. It was amazing. And the cornbread was amazing. And the mac and cheese was interesting. It was good, but it was interesting. And it had a little bit of a spice, like just a little bit of zip to it. And my dad loved it. I liked it. We all liked it, but it was his like favorite thing. And my folks shared a burger that they really enjoyed. And then what else? Oh, my husband got fried okra. Did you like the fried okra?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you, in general, you like okra. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of your thing. I tried it. Okra's just not my thing. And then for dinner, we got the beignets, which, to be fair, weren't exactly like beignets. Like, they're not as light and fluffy, and they weren't squares either. They were just like round, kind of heavy donut balls, and they were filled with Nutella. But even though they weren't exactly like beignets, they were still really, really good, and they served them nice and warm. So I would 100% be happy to like go back to Yardbird anytime on this trip. Everything was just wonderful. We really, really enjoyed the meal. So that's highly recommend Yardbird. Okay, and then update number 3, which has been the not so fun moment of the trip so far. So I believe I mentioned that they had some check-in issues here at the Mirage. So all I know is their computers were down. They could not check anybody in or out on the computers. So they ended up doing manual, like on paper, check-ins. And they were still able to make room keys though. So that was good. But they did manual check-in, and we got, for how it worked out just with our timing being in the right place at the right time, we got super, super lucky and were able to do our check-in like right when they started taking the manual check-ins. So I really can't complain about that, even though it was kind of a runaround and they didn't have any answers for us for a long time. But so it was a kind of like a crummy situation. However, we got very lucky in the crummy situation, so I can't really complain. So that's not the issue. The issue with the check-in problem that they were having with their systems being down is that they double booked our room. And so I don't know if it was a couple, if it was like 2 guys, a guy and a girl, or a group, I don't know. All I know is I was napping because I was exhausted and have a cold, and I really needed to sleep since it was arrival day and we were really tired. And as I'm laying in bed sleeping, I'm an extremely light sleeper. So the door opens, the door of our room opens, and I shoot up out of bed. And I wasn't even like in my right awake mind, but I said, why is there someone in our room? Like, I was sassy about it because it woke me up, the door opening, and scared the bejesus out of me. And I was half asleep, half awake. And so I was like, why is there somebody in our room? And some guy, some other hotel guest with his luggage and people behind him was like, obviously he was not happy either because he saw my sleepy self sitting up in bed, and he's like, oh, because they gave us this room too. And then he like sassed out of there and closed the door right away. But I was unhappy because, I mean, it's not, sure, I didn't feel good because of how I didn't feel good anyway. And then being woken up that way is very jarring, and like, it can kind of like mess with you. But to know that like somebody else had keys to our room and was just walking in our room, and I wasn't happy about it. So I guess I'm partly to blame because I didn't lock that lock thingy on the door. I don't know, you know, like when you flip the little metal piece so that the door can only open a little ways. I didn't flip that, but by the time we got checked in and everything, we were tired. Like I just came in and put our stuff down and got settled for a minute and then like rested. So that was my bad. I guess I should have done that, but they also shouldn't have given somebody our room while we were in the room. So I called the front desk because I was worried from a safety standpoint, like if somebody else has keys to our room or is giving keys to our room, they could come in anytime when we're not here and take our stuff. And so they were understanding, of course, and it had happened to not just us apparently. And so they brought up some new room keys for us and said that they deactivated all other room keys that could possibly be activated for our room. And then they offered to take the cost of last night's stay off the bill, which I thought was nice of them. I mean, I appreciate it. Let me be very clear. I appreciate that because staying in a hotel is a pricey endeavor. I'm a cheapskate. I've probably said in my vlogs before, I'm a cheapskate when it comes to hotels. So staying here is more expensive than the hotels I'm used to staying at. So to spend all this, even per night, saving on one night is a big deal. And I appreciate that. But I was worried that, like, I can still be worried though that they're giving my room away when I'm not in it. And then some, the other guests who think they're staying here will come in our room and see all of our stuff. And somebody, I don't know, you assume everybody's a good person, but if somebody isn't or has an ulterior motive, they could see all of our stuff and be like, jackpot. And no, I can't store all of our valuables in the safe that's in the closet. It's not possible. Like I can't put all the stuff that we have that's technically a valuable, I can't put that all in the little teeny tiny safe that's in the closet. So I really can't protect everything that's in my room anyway. Anyway, I am just hoping that my congestion and everything goes away because I'm on vacation and I don't like having a cold when I'm on vacation or anytime, but especially when I'm on vacation. So now we're loafing and then I'll refresh because something has happened. I'll tell you what's happened to this hair. 100 and my makeup, no doubt. 102 degrees today has happened to my hair and makeup, and my hat that I had on has mooshed everything down. And there it all went. So I will try to refresh somewhat before we go to the show. And then I'm sure I'm not allowed to take any video or anything, but I at least want to take my camera downstairs to hopefully show the I honestly don't even know if it's the entrance, but we walked by where it says like Beatles Love, and there's like this colorful light up walkway kind of thing, and you can like take pictures on it and stuff. So I at least want to show that. And yeah, I'm excited for this show. I think it's going to be great. I've heard really good things about it. And who doesn't love Beatles music? So fun times ahead. Okay, I didn't show my outfit, but I wanted to show it. Not that it's fancy or anything. But I just wore this really lightweight, I think it's linen technically, dress. I think it was $15. Good times. From Burlington, not Coat Factory. It's just Burlington now, I guess. So yeah, and I had never been to Burlington. I still call it Burlington Coat Factory, whatever. I'd never been there before, like a week or two ago, and then I went to one that actually isn't that far from me just to check it out, and I ended up finding 2 dresses there that I liked. And so this is one of them. I thought because it's so light that it would be great for Las Vegas, and I think it is, and I like the little stripey pattern. And then just very basic, easy, I guess I could show them here, black sandals. They're very comfy. And what else? I've got my watch on. I've got my Michael Kors watch. This is my very fancy watch that my family gave me a couple of years ago for my birthday. And then a little necklace from Henry Bendel. I don't know if this is the right way to show stuff or if I should just aim the camera at me. Okay, I'm gonna try this way instead. So here's a little bar necklace from Henry Bendel. I'm wearing that. And then little earrings, just gold hoops. And I think something must have scratched or upset my ear the other day. Maybe it was a pair of earrings I had. I don't know. Anyway, so just, and not real, costume, gold, costumey gold hoops. And then a little gold, yellow gold wedding band. So that's my look. That's my husband. And that's our room. My husband who travels with a Switch. Don't you?
Yeah, of course.
You're a nerdy little guy. But I like it though. Okay, I'm all congested again. This is making me crazy. But, I mean, in general, I feel okay. So, anywho, we're ready to go to the Cirque du Soleil show. And I've got, I just did an outfit change and spruced my makeup a little bit. And so, yeah, I've got a little sheer top and these gray, I don't really know if they're capris. Maybe. They're sort of capris. And then little wedge shoes. And I'm bringing my shawl because I just know that I'm going to be freezing to death because I'm always freezing to death in the air conditioning. And then I also have a very cute little heart purse. So that's what I'm wearing. And what are you wearing, husband? Clothes that your wife made you wear. This is what he's wearing. And I wanted him to wear this blue and whitish top because then we'd kind of match. And yeah. And I like that, like we're two old people that live in Florida. And we're matching outfits. So now we're off. I don't know if we can go in yet, Mom. Oh, look at that. Here's the colorful floor. This is a very interesting and weird and interesting looking theater. I can't, the stage is like shaped interestingly, and then there's curtains, but then there's big screens. This is cool. And there's ladders moving right now. Look at this guy. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Well, I guess the show's gonna start soon. In about 5 minutes. This is what the very last scene of the show looked like. It was All You Need Is Love. This is crazy. So we stopped for a little midnight snack, even though it's only 10:30. And my husband got a chocolate shake, or no, Oreo shake.
This chocolate sundae.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It's late. A chocolate sundae. And I got an order of French fries. Okay, I wanted to come back to the Beatles Cirque Theater just to take a better video of this entryway, which is really cool. And now it's not jammed with people, so it's much easier to tell. They have a gift shop. We didn't go in there. And that creepy blue guy there, that's one of the costumes from the show. It's creepy. But yeah, it's got this rainbow floor and these cool
if he was from
silver orbs.
like an album cover or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to have a purpose. Or a reference to something. I'm just not familiar with it. This is cool. Okay, everybody, so we are back in the hotel room now, and I am just so congested, and my throat is not happy. So my cold is not going away like I thought it was. It's coming back a little. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we stopped for a sundae and some French fries just as a late night snack. I did a little gambling. I spent $6 whole in the casino and I lost my butt. I walked away with 8 cents and we cashed out that 8 cents too and took it with us. So that was pretty wild and crazy. And I want to just share what I thought about the Cirque show, the Beatles Love Cirque show. Okay, we didn't know what to expect. Neither of us knew what to expect. And it was not inexpensive. And so we weren't thrilled. I mean, okay, I really wanted to see a Cirque show. And I'd been to Las Vegas a couple years ago. And I wanted to see a show then. And we didn't at the time. And so this trip, I'm like, well, I still want to see one darn Cirque du Soleil show. And then I saw the price, and it ended up being like about $120 a person. And then I was like, oh, well, no, we're not seeing a Cirque show because that's crazy. But if I don't see it now, I'm going to go home being like, gee, I wish I'd seen a Cirque show. And we didn't want that. So we spent the money. You know, you've got to enjoy yourself when you're on vacation a little bit and splurge. We can't see a Cirque show at home either, right? Like, I don't think there's anything like around Chicago that I know of. So we just we just did it. And my mom went also. And it was, I don't know whether to say it was good first or whether to say it was bizarre first. It was both. It was equally good and bizarre. The configuration of like the floor of the stage was very interesting, and it changed constantly the whole show. Parts would like fall into the ground, kind of like they'd sink and then they'd come back up, but in different configurations, and different props and things would come up. The costumes were great. They did everything that I'd want to see in a Cirque show. They did like the aerial stunts when people were like hanging from the ropes and or like the ribbons kind of, and they had trampolines, and they had rollerblades, and they had like trapeze type stuff, and then just plain dancing stuff with the lights. They had confetti. I remember the chimneys in the beginning that came up, and then they blew up these chimney prop things. I mean, and then there was like a piano with bubbles, and they were blowing bubbles with smoke in them. It was so bizarre. Oh, and one of the coolest part, this I will say, there were some little boys, and they were on a bed. And then, I don't know if they had like this little band and instruments on the bed and whatever. And then the bed, I don't know, I don't think the boys were still on it, at least I hope not, I
think they were.
Were they? Oh my gosh.
Because like out from under the bed, they pulled all this tarp or whatever.
Yeah, like
the kids never had a chance to get off of it.
Okay. So like it raised kind of in the middle of the stage, and then, yeah, this tarp or like lightweight fabric.
Like parachute material.
Yeah, like tons and tons and tons of it pulled out from under this bed and
up into the audience.
So the staff members at the theater came down into the audience to help, and they grabbed part of it and pulled it up over us. And I tried to get a video, but I failed miserably. I thought I was recording, but I was not. I wasn't supposed to anyway, but I tried. And it just like was over you, and then they projected stuff on the parachute blanket thing.
Well, yeah,
I thought it was like it reminded me of like being like a parachute, like when you're in gym class when you're a kid. Yeah, it was that kind of thing. And so it was over you, and everybody was just like kind of, like gently touching it and stuff. And and
they raised the bed all the way to the ceiling, so it probably looked like a tent from the outside.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a tent effect. And we could assume it was, but you could not see it though when you were under the tarp. Just weird. Weird. And I think we were worried that it wasn't going to be worth it, and that it was just going to be like
overpriced.
Overpriced.
It wasn't. It was impressive.
Yeah, definitely. It was impressive, and it was fun, and there was, a lot of times where like you wanted to clap, or at least like I was getting into it. I had to stop my mom from singing a couple of times because I didn't know if everybody around us would appreciate that. The people in front of us, though, said they had seen that show 5 times. Did you catch that?
Wow, and they were in the
5 times,
seats.
And they were in the expensive seats too. Oh my gosh. Okay, we all agree, the 3 of us, that we didn't have enough eyeballs, because we would be watching one thing happening on the stage, but something else totally different and somebody else totally different would be over here, and then you'd catch it either late, or you'd be like, just watching this one cool thing for so long, and then you're missing other stuff that's happening. 2 eyeballs was not enough to watch that show. It was just different. That was an experience, and so I recommend it. I recommend splurging on that and going to see that Love show. And I bet then the other Cirque shows are probably along the same lines where they're just as pricey, but I'd imagine there's just as much spectacle. We don't have a whole lot of Beatles knowledge, just, you know, some of the music. And so that's another thing. Even if you aren't like the world's most diehard Beatles fan, you just have like a casual knowledge of the Beatles, you'll still have a really good time and recognize plenty of the songs. So I liked it. You liked it. Mom liked it.
Yep.
It was a good evening. And then with our little big time gambling for us. And our dessert, I think I have to go to sleep soon because it's a long day in Vegas. Even if you like don't do all that much, by the time you've done some walking and some outside time and activities and stuff, it's just you're pooped. So I'm going to bed. We're going to bed. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be taking some video of something interesting tomorrow.
Probably.
We'll see. I think tomorrow's going to be a really low-key day, though. So anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.